Let's create the page to edit a category. I'll go to categories, and here I'll create edit categories. And the page is almost similar to create categories, so I'm going to grab everything in create categories, and then I'm just going to change this from create new to edit category. Then after that, let's go ahead and create the route to load this component. I'll go to index, and I'm going to import it first. So I'll copy this and modify it, change create to edit, then register the component in the routes. So I'll grab this, change create to edit, then I'll change this from categories create to categories, then I'll use a param edit. So here we are saying go to categories / anything, then / edit, then return this component, and whatever we pass here will be stored in this variable called id. And to get that as a prop, that id, you just set props here to true. Okay, so now let's go where we have our categories list and update this link so that when we click on it, it takes us to that edit page. So we'll go to categories list where we have that edit link here. So let's use router link instead of anchor tag. Then this should be edit. So we no longer need this now. Then this should go to where. Let's define that. So the name, we already have it, and that is create categories. No, this is not an object. Not create, edit categories, sorry. Categories. Then after that, we will pass, after this property, the second property is params. Since we are accepting params in our route to go to that edit page, and that's an object. And the object, we will say id, so that's the name of our param. From here, it's id. So instead of passing anything, we will set that to be, where's that page? Here we go. We will set that to be the category id. Category.id. So let's see that before we go to that route, let's accept the id as prop. So our edit, and here we can accept that as props. Props, our id. Okay, let's test that. I'll do a refresh, go to edit, and there we can see we are grabbing the id of 2. Let's try the other one, edit, and we are grabbing the id of 1. So let's use this id to populate this form with the category associated with that id, so that we can be able to edit it. Okay, I'll come here, and so here in our categories list, we scroll down, we are fetching the categories, so I'll grab this and change it a bit. Let's go to edit, and here we'll have our mounted. So instead of fetching all the categories, let's fetch a specific one. So we'll go to /, and that will be the id that we are getting as a prop, so this .id. Then after that, instead of setting the response data to this .categories, let's set it to this .field. So our field should be whatever we get from the API. So let's go ahead and create this API. API, and that should be private for you to edit it. So we'll grab this, have this here, and then I'll just update it. So the method is get and not post. Then we are going to / categories. Then we are also receiving an ID. And here, instead of using an ID, I'll use category so as to be able to use route model binding. Category, then we'll change the controller to category. Category, actually, let's grab this and have it here where we have categories. So this is category, controller, and the method is show, since we just want to get one item. Okay, let's go ahead and create that method. We have a problem. You need a comma here. Let's see, we still, oh, it's good now. So let's go ahead and create that show method. To our controller, so we can just come here and type hint the category, and then set it to category. So the category with that ID will be saved in this variable. So now we have the category, we can just return it because that's what we want to return from the API. Category. Let's see if that's working. Come back, we refresh, and there we go, we see spot. If we go to a different one, spot 3, there we go, we see it. So now let's go ahead and update this. So to update it, we'll go to edit category, and now we are going to use a different method here. So when we submit, we are not going to use a post method, we are going to use a put method. Then we'll go to / API categories, then the category ID of that, the ID of that category that we want to update. So we will not use this. So here we can just say plus this dot ID. Then here, yeah, that's good, this dot ID. Then we pass whatever we want to pass. Then I think that should work. So save. Since we are updating, we are not creating. Let's go ahead and create this API. To the API, and then we have this one. Let's grab this and change it a bit. So the method now is put. So / categories and that category. So we'll use this to use route model binding and change the method to update. Okay, let's go ahead and create that method update. And that is almost similar to the store method. So I'll grab this, then change this to update. We will need the request object to request the input, and now we have the category. Since we are receiving the ID, let's have it that way in category. So we'll request validate first. The name is required and should be unique as before. Then after we pass the validation, we are going to request the input, and after requesting it, we are not going to create a new object since we just want to update. So I'll remove that line, we don't need it. So we'll just update the category that we have here and update its name to the name that we get from the input, and then return category save. So let's see if that's working. Come back, refresh, and let's change this to updated. Submit, created successfully. Let's change that from created to updated. Edit categories. Let's change that to updated. Okay, let's see. So it was updated. Let's update it again. Updated again. Updated, created. Whoa. What's that? Updated, created, updated successfully. Okay, sorry about that. Categories list. Again, times 2. Submit. Check it out. And it's updated. And that's it for this lesson. In the next lesson, let's see how to delete a category. Cheers.